committee to order. First issue on the docket is the approval of the April 17th meetings. Is there a motion on the table?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Great. I know you don't like that.
I hate this thing.
Item number one on the agenda is Uno's Restaurant, LLC, doing business as Uno's Chicago Grill. Please state your name for the record, please. Great. And you're applying for?
Just notifying the change of officers.
Okay. Now, is our... Oh, yeah, microphone. There you go. Please state your name again for the record, please.
Warren Brown.
Great. And you're making an application for new officer and director?
Correct.
Great. Any questions from the board?
I think we have a list of the new officers.
New officers, Ian H. Baines, President and CEO.
Okay. And how many people are changing on the board?
He's the only one changing.
He's the only one?
Yeah.
Now, is there a manager change as well?
Not in this location, no.
Not in this location. Okay, great. Okay. I don't have any questions.
I have no questions.
No questions.
Okay.
Is there a motion on the table?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that motion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It's passing unanimously. Thank you. Item number 2 is Cafeteria La Delicias Colombianas. Hi. We understand that you're applying for an entertainment license to include...
Yes, for dance.
Great. Could you just state your name for the record, please?
Nur Cordero.
Great. Thank you. We're going to have to hold this until the next meeting, until you get approval from the fire department, and then we could hear it and make a decision on it on the June 18th meeting?
June 18?
I'm sorry?
June
On June 18th.
18.
So once you get approvals from the fire department and the inspectional services, you could come back to us, and then we'll hear what you want to do for the entertainment license.
You should tell them that it was disapproved.
Yeah, right now, we've got a disapproval from the fire department at this point in time.
Okay,
Okay?
thank you. Thank you.
Please state your name for the record, please.
Ira Novoselsky, 53 Dehone Street. I'm the Ward 2 counselor, and I just heard that, and I did talk to Inspector Manoff about this, and, he was questioning the amount of space they have to dance. He already forced them into all their necessary fire suppression systems and everything, but I just want to be here on behalf of them and speak in favor of this. I have no problem with it. I know what they're going to do. I was in there yesterday looking at it, and I don't have a problem with it. They've been good neighbors down there, and have never had any problems down there at all. And all the licenses that they've gotten, they've done a progressive to show that they have been run a good establishment down there. So I don't know if I'll be able to make it on the 18th, but just so you have it on the record for now that I would be in favor of it.
We can record it as being in favor.
Great, and we'll
Okay,
record
please
it as
do.
being in favor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Item number 3, Sons of Revere. Please state your name for the record, please.
David Lightbody.
Great. And you're making an application for amusement
Amusement
devices? Great. What are the plans in terms of the number of machines you're having in there, and what type of machines are they going to be?
There's 5. I don't know the description of the machines. I put them all in the application.
We have it here on the application.
It's basically, it was pre-existing to the old license. I was just putting everything back in order. I didn't fill it out correctly when I filled out my liquor license application, so I'm just crossing my T's.
Great. Any questions?
No, I have no questions.
No questions, no.
I think by court order, we have to approve. of this, so I'll make a motion to approve those machines.
Okay.
Recognize that they have to be in an open space and that gambling isn't permitted.
Absolutely.
Great. I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second the motion per order of the courts.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you.
It's been approved. Thank you. Beach variety. Hi. Please state your name for the record, please.
Linda LaVisca?
Great. And you're applying for a common victuals license?
Yes.
Okay, could you give us a little description of what you're planning to do?
It's a convenience store, variety store, and it's at 382 Ocean Ave,
Okay.
and coffee, muffins, milk juice, ice cream,
Lunch, dinner, anything like that?
prepared foods
Mhm.
from another restaurant.
Great.
And you have no seating at this establishment? No. I have spoke to people in the building, and they're happy about it.
That there's no seating?
No, that they're
Oh.
happy to have the
Yeah,
convenience store.
because they wanted
The
seating,
convenience
but
store
I
will
guess
be
that,
there. But I'm
is
glad
not
you
gonna go.
clarified it, because on your application, you filled it out as Ocean Boulevard. The address is Ocean Ave.
Ocean Ave
Right,
Boulevard.
okay. Yes, I've heard very good things about it, people looking forward to it. And have you had any experience in variety stores, or is this the only one you have?
That's it. I haven't had experience before, no, but
Will you be running it?
I'll be
yourself?
running it, yes. I'll have people that have had experience helping me.
Okay. How many
So-
employees you think you're going to have there?
Probably 2.
Two? Okay. And the only other thing is your deliveries? What time do you plan on having deliveries there?
I'm meeting with him tomorrow, the supplier, so
Well,
the deliveries will be,
this board asks that we have deliveries not before, is it 7 or 8 o'clock?
I think it's 7 o'clock on
7
on
o'clock.
weekdays and 8
In the
on
morning?
weekends. Yes.
okay,
Right.
don't worry about that.
Because if you don't, at this time, now's the time to set up that time frame, because obviously these trucks want to deliver as early as possible, and whoever doesn't mind will be getting deliveries at 5 o'clock in the morning. And you are in a residential building, so we have to keep that in mind. So
Okay.
when you do set up your deliveries, I would appreciate it's not before 7 o'clock in the morning.
He said he doesn't deliver till 8, so I don't think that'll be a
Okay.
problem.
And dumpsters, do you have a dumpster?
The building has a dumpster.
And they're going to allow you to use it as a, do you own the is this a
No, I
condo
don't
you
own it.
bought?
I'm renting it
You're
from the
renting it.
owner.
And they have their own dumpster?
Well, the building, the condo association has a dumpster. In the back, there's a dumpster.
Okay, so then I'm sure they keep an eye on what time they pick up, so that wouldn't be a concern to you? No? Okay, it's the only questions I had.
Great.
Okay.
Is there a motion on the table?
I think someone wants to speak.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. Are there any proponents who want to speak on behalf of this issue? Thanks.
Ira Novoselsky, 53 DeHone Street, Ward 2 Councilor. This is in my district, and I have been down there. I've met the young ladies that will be running the facility. And yes, everybody is excited about having them down there, so I have no problem with it and like to be in favor of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other proponents that want to speak on behalf of this issue? Hearing and seeing none, I'll close this side. Are there any opponents that want to speak on behalf of this issue? Hearing and seeing none, I'll close that side, and I'll call for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Your application is approved. Thank you.
And for the record, we should change it to Ocean Ave.
Yeah.
On her license.
Item number 5, Sayer Food Market. Okay, seeing that they are not here, we'll table that until the June meeting. Item number 6 is Metro Pizza and Grill. Hi, could you please state your name for the record, please?
Mariana Souza.
Great, and you've got an application in for a new common victuals license and an entertainment license? Is that
Correct.
Correct? Great. And do you currently operate the site now?
No, I work for the previous owner.
You do, okay. And can you tell us what your plans are in terms of?
Yes, I'm going to keep the same Brazilian buffet that they have now, and I'm going to incorporate a Brazilian-style pizza and sandwiches. So that's what we'll have. And breakfast, we plan to incorporate as well.
Great. And have you had any prior experience in this business?
Yes.
You have?
Yes, I have experience in the pizza and grill business I've worked at a place for about 5 years. I've run a place in Barica, and we also serve breakfast, so.
How much time do you anticipate spending at this location?
At the restaurant, myself.
Just yourself?
About how much time or
How
how
many
many
hours?
people? How many hours? Well, for myself, I anticipate me being there for about 12 hours.
12 hours?
A day, yeah.
Each day? Okay. Any other questions?
No, I have no question. Excuse me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You've changed your application from, I think you did send me something on that. What were you asking for hours? Because we have down here on Friday, 8 to 10, Sunday, 8 to 7. So-
We are now I am now planning to open at 6 o'clock for breakfast. And we're gonna stay open till 10 o'clock. And that's gonna be 7 days a week.
7 days a week.
Yes.
Can you tell me exactly, where is 163 Squire Road? I'm very familiar with Squire Road. but-
I'm not from Revere myself, so I'll explain as much as I know. I'm right next to Nick's Bistro,
Oh, okay.
where
right in-
Papagino's IHOP, right on that same road.
I thought it was where Billy Guerrero's was. Revere business. Oh, okay, I know where you're talking about. So
Yes.
you're not near residence or anything?
No.
No. Okay, so you're really asking for 6 to 10, how many days a week?
7 days.
Oh, 7 days, you just want to stay 6
Yes.
to 10? Okay, was there any other changes you were requesting?
And delivery, I don't know if I specified that on the application, but I also want to have delivery, if that's possible.
Delivery meaning,
I want to be able to deliver food to homes.
okay.
Yes.
Okay, I don't have a problem with that. I think the restaurant next door also has a delivery service, the Chinese
The
restaurant
Chinese,
there.
yes.
Okay, and again, I always try to look at the proximity to the neighborhood. There's no way they would be going down the streets. It would always be Squire Road. Commercial,
Yes.
right?
Like I said, I'm not from the area, but from what I see, as I have been working there for a couple months.
So your delivery basically would always be using Squire Road.
Oh, yes, yes.
Thank you, I have no other questions.
Just quick on the seat, how much seating?
There are 50 seats.
50?
Yes,
Okay.
50.
Gotcha.
That's what you're presently licensed for, 50 seats? Joan, is she? Okay. So there's not going to be any change in seating?
No changes.
Okay.
No, I'm good.
Great, thank you.
What's that?
Are there any proponents who want to speak on behalf of this issue? Are there any opponents that want to hear on this, speak on this side of the issue? Hearing and seeing none, I will close both sides of that, and I will make a motion to approve.
I'm going to second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Good luck. Number 7 is BW Grill LLC, doing business as BW's Grill. Hi, could you
Hi.
please state your name for the record, please?
I'm Valerie Garrison.
Great,
Alyssa Wood.
great. And You're applying for a common victuals license and entertainment license?
That's correct.
So what are your plans, and where is this located on Broadway?
It's 843 Broadway, and our plans are to open for breakfast and lunch, full service.
Great. And,
Is this site, oh, excuse me,
oh, sorry, go
I
ahead.
just want to ask, is this site the old Revere aluminum? Is that what we're talking about, Malden Street?
You know, it was
And-
actually, it was 843 Bistro for the last 6 months, and before that, I think it was Danielle's Catering, and
Oh,
before that,
okay.
it might have been an upholstery store.
Next to,
It's a corner of Folsom and Broadway.
oh, okay, okay. We have 3 different areas there. I was thinking the other area. Okay, thank you.
Sure.
And what do you anticipate, so it's just breakfast and lunch?
Right now, we've applied for a license from 6 till 10, because we may eventually like to expand to dinner, but we're going to start with just breakfast and lunch.
What are you planning for seating?
45.
45 people? Great. And
Application says 50, it's supposed to be going.
You know what, it was because I just bought booths yesterday,
oh,
and I've been counting chairs, so I applied for 50, but right now I only have 45.
okay, great.
Have we got the approval that she's allowed to have that much seating in the fire department?
I don't know that. Do you have you had inspectional services in there yet to inspect?
The fire inspector, the building inspector, and Tony from the,
Board of Health?
correct.
Great. And we're all in approvals on that? Okay, great. How do you anticipate dealing with parking in that area?
You know, I count parking spaces every time I go. I've been painting, and it's not that bad. Actually, we have 5 or 6 parking spaces, but I anticipate an awful lot of community neighborhood business. They're already coming by and expressing a great deal of interest. It's a lot of the foot traffic.
Great.
I hope to do well. I hope that there are 6 people per car.
We hope everyone that does well, they come up here.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Great. And
Do you have you had other restaurants in the past, or?
I've never had a
Have
restaurant.
experience?
This is my daughter. We're co-owners. I've been in the restaurant business for 35 years. For the last 21, I was a general manager and executive chef for Sodexo, which is a food management corporation. For the last 10 in healthcare. I had been a certified ServSafe instructor for 8 years. So I'm just choosing to run my own business instead of somebody else's. But I've also been deficiency-free in state surveys for the last 10 years. So I have a good understanding of the codes,
Okay.
and I can cook.
You will be the cook also? Will you? do
Some
all
of
the
it,
cooking?
absolutely. I said the real home cooking meals I'm going to do.
And your daughter, do you cook also, or you be more of a manager?
More-
Okay,
I'm more behind the scenes.
okay.
She's a whiz, business end of it. You know, the invoicing and that kind of thing.
Well, that's good.
how many employees do you anticipate having?
I anticipate 5 in addition to the 2 of us. Just a couple of full-time and then part-time.
And how many hours would you be, both of you would be putting into that business?
My daughter has another job. I'm going to be putting in 60, probably a week, minimum, at least until I'm comfortable that it will run without me.
Great.
All the time it requires.
Excellent.
See, okay, unfortunately, see, the last person was taxes. See what I mean? So, the payment on the building should be paying.
Absolutely.
Okay, no, it was just an issue with the previous, nothing to do with your,
Oh, I did call and make certain that
application.
water and taxes were up to date, and they said there were no issues. I called.
Any other questions?
It's a full menu, correct?
It
What's,
is.
you'll have a website and what all
Actually,
you handling all
I
that?
actually just put that together last night, so
Excellent.
it's under construction, but it's up.
Okay, looking
The
forward.
menu's not up there yet, but it's coming
Oh,
soon.
good. Well, good luck. I have no-
Thank you so
we
much.
can't just,
Great. Thank you very much. Are there any proponents that want to speak on behalf of this issue? Are there any, seeing here and none, I'll close that side. Are there any opponents that want to speak on behalf of this issue? Hearing and seeing none, I will make a motion to approve.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
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 The license has been approved.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Next issue is a show cause hearing for La Fonda Pesa. Is there anybody here? Great, thank you. Please state your name for the record, please.
My name is Luis Lopez, so I'm
Great.
the owner of La Fonda Paisa.
Great, Mr. Lopez. Can you, the reason why we had you come here is that we noticed that we got reports that the place was closed and that, you know, I live in the neighborhood, I've driven by it a number of times. There wasn't anybody there, and so we had you come up and address that issue. Can you tell us why the restaurant was closed?
Yes, I have two guys that cook for me, and one of them, he just left, and so what I did was I said, okay, I'm gonna change the menu, find another person, and in the meantime, let's do 2 to 3 weeks, I'll set up again. So that's the reason we closed, but I didn't know that I have to notify you that I was going to close for 1 or 2 weeks.
So your business really hasn't changed other than the menu?
No, just the same. Just we add a few things in the menu, but it's still the same food.
We also heard that there was talk about vendors coming in leasing the kitchen for food trucks. Is there any merit to that?
They're trying to sell the building, and on the meantime, I was saying that if somebody comes and they want to stay, they want to keep the restaurant, all they have to come here and just transfer or whatever they.
That has nothing to do with your business at this point?
Not at this point, no. But they're trying to sell the building. That's what I hear from the owner.
Have you done any remodeling of the establishment? That was another thing.
No, that was how long ago? Last remodel we did was 2 years ago that we had a permit or something. And other than painting the kitchen, no.
Realize you have to notify the board should you close for any amount of time.
Yes, I will.
Just so
If
that
something happens,
Okay.
mhm.
And any kind of other business that would go in, other than what states on your license, you would have to notify the board, and that may take an additional license if it were approved. Because I
Yes.
think the canteen business is a whole nother thing from restaurant,
Yeah, okay.
okay?
Yeah.
Thank
Great,
you. I
thank
have
you
no
very
other
much
Thank you.
for your time. Next issue is the show cause hearing for Revere Lodge of Loyal Order of the Moose. Hi, could you just please state your name for the record, please?
Giovanna Fiore.
Westlake Clemens.
Great. The reason why we had you come up before this board is we had been notified by the Revere Police Department that you were holding 18-plus parties, one without a license and two without this board to be able to address safety issues and things like that. According to the Revere Police Department, there were a few parties that took place. We have a police incident that goes into detail about an underage person who was intoxicated and taken into protective custody. Can you tell us what is happening at the Moose Club and what your plans are in the future?
I want to do this. First of all, we had was brought, one of the members brought to our attention that they could have a DJ or a band for an 18 and up crowd. And, well, I guess we didn't know that we needed a special license for it. I mean, that was never even crossed our mind, but we had concerns about underage drinking. So we hired a police detail. We also hired a security that we paid an additional $100 for to check IDs and to give bracelets out to those over 21 who could be served at the bar. Underage drinkers, that happened outside, anything not in the club itself or in the lodge itself, but something that they did, or maybe they came that way, or who knows. But that's what underage kids do. I mean, under 21, they find a way to do that.
Which is one of the reasons why we had you come before this board, because one of the things that I think you find is when you're holding those types of parties, you're going to attract, that age bracket, and clearly, according to the police department, it wasn't very well dealt with.
There was one incident with an underage person. The other one was an adult from downstairs that we never really have, but it was just an incident with that person. It seemed like there was more going on than actually was that night. Unfortunately, I mean, we paid all that money. Not only did I pay $264 for a police detail, we paid another additional $100 for security, and then we paid another $150 for insurance, just in case anything happened, someone fell down or anything. We always do that as a precaution. So I understand that there's maybe a $10 fee or something that the license commission charges for an underage party. I mean, we were glad he paid that, but we didn't know that.
It's not so much the fee, although I mean that's important as well. But it's more for me is the safety issues associated with it. Now, if you were talking about a member holding a party, and and it was a members only party, to me that's a different scenario. I mean, I understand that.
That is different.
The minute you start charging and having people come in who are not members, that's really when I think the red light should go on.
I didn't know he was charging, but the member himself was charging, I guess. He wanted to offset the cost, I guess, for all the fees that were being charged to have. Yeah. So, I mean, I didn't know any of that. So, I mean, that was downstairs. On the last party, when the police officer came, I already talked to this member, and I said, listen, we're going to change that. I don't want any more 18 because I'm getting a little concerned about it. The last time we had, he said, well, that one person ain't going to be here anymore, and we already go. Then he says, so I said, well, we'll see. But then I said, tonight, make it 21 over. That's it. He said, I can't do it at the last minute. I said, well, that's the only way. You're going to be able to have it here tonight. If you can't do that, then I don't want to have the function. Luckily, or unfortunately, I'm going to use that word, the officer came down and says that we were in violation. We couldn't hold this party anyway, which that was good. It got us off the hook with the member, and now I felt good about that. So that's where we stand now, as far as speaking with you.
How do you anticipate dealing with those issues as they come up now? And my concern is that it's lack of control from my standpoint. I mean, if a member is coming up and they're planning to hold a party, there's no level of detail or background on what their party is about and what they're going to be doing with it.
Well, let me put the question back to you, because and maybe you can clarify something. I understand now this particular member went and had the party at the Wonderland Ballroom. I don't know the name of that, someplace. An 18 plus. I guess they got a permit from you guys or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I didn't see what they could do different than what we did. I don't know. I mean, we hired a police detail, which we thought was a good idea, and extra security to check that. So I don't know what I could have done beyond that. Maybe you can tell me. But
well, I mean, I know that they have education for bartenders to address, who they should be serving, whether that person is capable of consuming any more alcohol, those types of things. They have security in and out. They've had a number of issues in the past, which they've clarified and eliminated those problems. I mean, And so they've demonstrated over the last year anyway, for as long as I've been here, they've demonstrated that they've been able to pull those off without any incidents. The thing that concerns me more than anything is that you have the party, you have the issues. We don't have any ability to ask you, what your plans are in terms of security. How, have your who's bartending? Have they had the proper education? Is there what's the
Our bartenders are tip certified and crowd control as well. In fact, we have a new class coming up on the 24th of May. We have a brand new set of officers that came in. All the officers by the bylaws of the Revere Moose Lodge have to be tip certified and crowd control. So we have a class coming up. In fact, we have some other businesses in the area who are going to send their bartenders over to get involved in this class.
Can you tell me if those that have attended those 18-plus parties if they go out, can re-enter? Do you know if that's happened?
They can come in if they can go outside to have a cigarette. So they're allowed to go out and have a cigarette and come back in.
See, that's part of my problem. As soon as they're out the door, anything could happen. They can bring anything back in. I don't see any oversight in terms of is the moose management overseeing this, those types of things.
Well, we have security at the door that night, and they were frisking them and checking them out, emptying their pockets. Must empty your pockets. Yeah, I mean, they couldn't come out. They couldn't come in with anything. So they had to empty out their pockets to show what they had. There was a police officer was there, plus that security individual, and they put everything back in their pockets. They were allowed, and that was the only way they could come in. So what they did outside, if they went to their car or they went down the corner, I mean, I don't think you can control that anywhere.
At no point in time was any minor served in there.
Yeah, never.
I had 3 bartenders on.
just while we're on that reentry, that's one of the reasons you need a license. When this board has given out parties for 18 years old, and you're referring to the Wonderland Ballroom, very few we do give out.
Okay.
They are not allowed to re-enter the building once they go outside.
See, I didn't know that.
So, had you come up for your licenses, you may have learned a little bit more about that. And most of the clubs, I have to be honest with you, all know 18 and under to drink parties take a special license. I think everybody knows that.
Maybe we were a little bit overzealous in our quest to try to get some extra income because we've had some serious issues. And so we might have just jumped at the opportunity and looked at the dollar, but we tried to provide the security and the safety that we thought would necessary to cover, and make sure nothing would happen.
Well,
we don't want to see anything happen as well.
The issue is, you could have a big problem with your club. You could lose your liquor license, there could be lawsuits. But also, this board could have a problem by allowing someone to have underage parties without a license. That's our job, to make sure that everyone has the proper licenses in the city. That's what we're here for. So not only would you be liable, but I think the city would have been liable should this boy, in reading the report,
Let me ask you a
he
question.
was quite intoxicated.
Right, I understand, and you make great points, and I didn't know that a special permit was required, and I didn't know, like, say, even the gentleman before me, that he couldn't close for a couple of weeks and reopen, and that would have been I don't know, is there a book that we can purchase that tells you all the things you can and can do's and don'ts, I guess? Because I think, do you guys carry that? I know, he didn't say that, the police officer didn't say anything the first time we had the party, so we thought it was okay.
Well, I think that was a little miscommunication there, because they know it's not okay. He assumed you did have a license.
Oh, I see.
Then when the second party started, we were getting calls that there was underage drinking at the Moose. Then we sent an officer there who told you, you need to have that license.
I didn't know that.
And that's when he stopped the party. We didn't know about the first time, but it could have ended up a very big problem all around.
I wish no one even notified us that, you need a special, I didn't know, I'm going to get one of those books, I guess, just to make sure we all do the right thing.
That, you people have been in the bar business, you've, ran different functions, that you wouldn't know under 18 is not permitted?
It wasn't under 18. It was
No,
18
oh, it
plus.
was
Well,
18
and
plus.
over, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
18
It
plus.
was 18 plus.
Yeah.
Without a
And we
special.
tried to take all necessary precautions to make sure, ensure everybody's safety. Not one minor at any point in time was served in that bar. I had 3 bartenders on, and only 100 guests were allowed in. That was counting the 18 plus, the kids that were 18 to 21. Only people who were old enough to drink were banned in. It says it right in your police report. I wasn't made aware of any of these altercations that went on.
Well, it's unfortunate our officer couldn't be here this evening because he was there, and he saw what was going on, so unfortunately, he couldn't make it.
I'm sorry, could you state your name for the record, please?
Watch it.
My name's Joseph Bucci, 150 Lincoln Street, Revere. That incident was something that happened downstairs with our regular members. A member came in off the street with somebody else that wasn't supposed to be there, and he had an argument with somebody that we told them to leave the establishment. They walked outside, and they had an altercation outside. That had nothing to do with the party that was upstairs. So, just to let you know that, and, this is the first time we've had any kind of a violation. We've been there 100 years. I've been on the board now for 3 years, and we've never had an altercation of any kind there. There's not any fights inside the building. Whenever there's something, there's always somebody there to escort that person outside. What happens outside, we have no control over. But this 18 and over thing, it happened one incident, one party we had before that, and the officer that we hired, and we hired more security and everything, we had no idea that you needed a $10 permit. We spent, I don't know how much, hundreds, $500 for security, insurance, the police detail. $10 wouldn't have been anything, and we think we would have come up in front of you guys because we've never had a problem in the city. We've never had a problem.
We definitely will ask for permission,
So
had we known.
we're trying like crazy right now to, get our feet on the ground because we had a problem where management money was stolen, and we're in the hole. Like, we took out a loan to try to keep this place going. Excuse me. And we're not a profit organization. We do everything we can, and most of our money goes to Moose Charities, or we do scholarships for the city. We've done, we leave our building open for Red Cross, for all these different things.
All the civic things.
We have all the civic things that, the Revere Moose
Well, I
has been
think
a
everyone's
huge
very
asset.
familiar what the Moose does.
All right.
And at this time, I would like to disclose that I've been a member of the Moose for 25 years, and that's no way my vote would interfere with my vote. But I do want
Right.
to know, I do have to disclose that, and it's over 25 years. So I know the Moose very well.
All right.
We're back to the issue. There was a young boy who was out there quite intoxicated.
Did not drink at our club.
And,
Absolutely
well, the thing
not.
is, you didn't have a license. They did come in and out, as you said, they're out smoking. That's why you need a license, so
All
that
right.
we would tell you, this can't happen. We don't
Guaranteed
allow
it'll
it.
never happen again, that's for sure.
Well, it's unfortunate because, we're getting a lot of flack over this incident, over a young kid. And especially, I would feel the same way if it was my kid and they said, we're drinking down the Moose, or whatever the kid told their family, without a license, we couldn't back up anything. So I was very disappointed because I also know the Moose very well, and I was disappointed
If we
with
had
this
known,
incident.
if we had known that we needed a special permit, it wouldn't have been a problem.
We put all the safety nets in place that we thought would cover anything that might happen like that. Unfortunately, things happen out of our control. Like we say, once they go outside for a cigarette, if they go to their vehicle and they got something in there and they drink in there, whatever they may do, then come back in. We emptied their pockets out. The security was there. They had to take everything out.
So what exactly are your plans in the future with this club?
Well, we think that's not a possible. We're not going to. We're going to scratch that idea. We thought it was good at the time.
We are gonna have a reopening, a Revere Moose reopening, open to the city soon. Once we get everything, we're just trying to renovate a little bit and do a little painting and doing some
So people
renovations.
come see the hall.
Small renovations, just to,
Yeah, exactly. Do you also realize that you've got to notify this board if you make major
Yeah.
renovations?
Just want a welcoming thing, to come down, maybe
Okay.
see the lodge.
I'm not inclined to, at this point in time, to penalize the club. I mean, I get the merits of the club. I mean, I think, I mean, I, I'm not inclined to, at this point in time, to penalize the club. I mean, I get the merits of the club. I mean, I get the merits of the club. I mean, I, I get the merits of the club. I mean, I, I, I get the merits of the club. I mean, I, I, I get the merits of the club. I mean, I, I, I get the merits of the club. I mean, I, I get the merits of the club. I mean, I, I get the merits of the club. I mean, I, I get the merits of the club. I mean, I, I get the merits of the club. I mean, I, I get the merits of the club. I mean, I, I get the merits of the club. I mean, I, I get the merits of the club. I mean, I, I get the merits of the club. I mean, I, I get the merits of the club. I mean, I, I get the merits of the club. I mean, I, I get the merits of the club. I mean, I, I get the merits of the club. I mean, I, I get the merits of the club. I mean, I, I get the merits of the club. I mean, I, I get the merits I will chalk this up to inexperience.
Thank you.
You know, in the future, if you plan to do anything like that, you should come before this board. And if there are any questions in your mind as to what you're going to be doing in that club, you should at least inquire from this board.
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
And that, I don't know what my colleagues have to add to that.
I have nothing to add to it, but I think they
Thank you.
understand, you know,
Yeah.
and it's something, I think we're all very lucky that nothing seriously happened.
Yes. Okay, what?
And that is one of the biggest problems is
Right.
having 18 and over and letting them out and re-entering.
Right.
You cannot babysit and then check in their pockets. I don't even know how legal that is to do to minors, so I'm not going to go there either. But I would think that you would.
Well, we asked them, I think he asked them to empty their pockets so they couldn't come in, so make sure they weren't carrying. You know, just checking that they didn't have anything, and nips or, we know what kids do, and we didn't realize, we try to just be very precautious that evening, and obviously,
We had the metal wand.
it's not gonna, we had the wand going. We tried,
Okay, I have no other
so,
questions.
thank you,
Great, we'll put that on file, and hopefully there's any incidents in the future.
thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
We have a late application submitted for renewal for 2013 common victuals license for Nino's Restaurant. All of these shown date, access, all right. I make a motion to approve that renewal.
I second the motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We have three communications. Communication dated 5/2/13 from the ABCC regarding disapproval of the transfer of the stock, the new stock application for Easy Liquors on 750 Washington Avenue. Another communication from the ABCC dated 5/6/13 regarding the approval of a transfer of license for the Bissatiki Steakhouse. And we also have a communication from the ABCC dated 4/30/13 regarding a notice of hearing for alleged violations for the following establishments: Revere Lodge of Elks, alleged violation of automatic amusement devices; Bill Ash's Lounge, alleged violation of automatic amusement devices; Patriot Civic Club, alleged violation of permitting gambling; American Legion Post 61, alleged violation permitting gambling; Loyal Order of the Moose, alleged violation permitting gambling; Beachmont VFW Post 6712, alleged violation of permitting gambling; change of officers and directors in a nonprofit corporation without authorization, or failure to list names of officers' compensation engaged in handling alcohol.
Excuse me, on that communication, Ira Novoselsky, was that just a notification of the hearings?
Correct.
Okay, at the end of June?
June 25th.
Right, okay, thank you.
Our next meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, June 19th. I'm sorry,
Hey, Joe. If I may, Mr. Chairman, the folks that asked for that common vic wanted to know if they could increase their hours to 10 o'clock. I don't know what your purview is on that, so.
You would have, yeah, I mean, we've closed the hearing.
Yeah.
You certainly could come back before us and we've closed that part of the hearing, so we would suggest that you come back
In
before
June?
us in June and
Okay.
just request those
All right,
hours.
to do that.
Great,
Okay, thanks.
thank you.
So our
Right.
next scheduled meeting will be on a Tuesday, the
Yeah.
18th.
Correct. So our next scheduled meeting will be Tuesday, June 18th, which is, usually our meetings are on a Wednesday, but our next meeting will be Tuesday, the 18th. And is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I second the motion.
Great, thank you.